Welcome to Got Invention Radio. I'm your host, Brian Fried, and our guest tonight is an inventor that I've known for quite a while. He's an old friend of mine, and he's an avid listener of Got Invention Radio, Chris Landano. He has an invention called Track Belt 360, and he's definitely been on a journey from attempting to manufacture it, then going to potential licensing, actually getting a licensing deal, backing out of that, and now he's gone into a Kickstarter campaign, and he's just about coming to the end of the campaign of how much money he needed to raise, and there's a little bit more left, so we're going to see if we can get some support for him on that, and then also hear about his journey on what he's going to do after he raises the money. Chris Landano, welcome to the show.
Hey, Brian. It's a pleasure to be on the show after so many years of listening to the show.
Well, Chris, tell us a little bit about yourself and just who you are to start with.
I live in Queens, married, have a little 1-year-old. I'm a New York City firefighter. I've been with the fire department for almost 15 years now. I studied photography in college, and I occasionally work with the fire department's forensics photography unit, and that's sort of how I came to inventing my idea.
Okay, well, tell us about it. How did it happen, and what did you actually come up with?
Years ago, I responded to a building collapse with reports of people trapped in the building. I was working with the fire department's photo forensics unit, and being a trained firefighter allowed me to access the area that no one else could access with a camera. And using my firefighter skills, I went into the area and I photographed the scene. I photographed some of the rescue firefighters looking for people. The scene was still very active. There was still debris kind of falling through the cracks. And so I knew that the firefighters doing the search were making their way out. They didn't find anyone, so I began making my way out. As I was making my way out of the area, I tried squeezing through a little hole. Now, I was wearing my firefighter pants. Over the pants, I was wearing a photography belt from another existing product company on the market. And I had a photography pouch on my hip. And as I tried to squeeze through this reduced hole, I tried to kind of reduce my profile, and I got caught. My bag and belt kind of got tangled up in some of the debris. And after about 10 seconds of trying to free myself, I had to pop the waist belt, drop my pouches, and kind of drag them behind me. But as I was on my hands and knees trying to figure out how to free myself, I was thinking to myself, wow, what if I could just rotate my pouch to the back or to the other side, and that would free up the space? And that's how I invented my product.
Okay. Now, Chris, people aren't going to be in that situation, and we definitely appreciate all that you've done in that type of position. But really, as regular people out there and different people in construction and photography, they're not going to be in that type of situation. So how did you actually take the idea and now turn it into something that can actually be for the industries that you're targeting?
So when I got out of that area, I went out looking for it. At the time, I really didn't think I invented anything. I just knew that I needed a better system for me as a photographer. And after about a year of searching online, trade shows, I found nothing on the market. And so I started talking to a few other photographers that I knew. I wasn't looking at any other industries. I was just focused on the photography industry. And after talking to a number of photographers, professional photographers, I found that it was a common problem, that once you put your pouch into your belt, it didn't move. And another common issue was that many people didn't store any kind of equipment on their back because it was very hard to reach. So I kind of found that, there may be a need for a system where you could kind of rotate the pouches to the front, get your gear, and then push them out to the back and have it out of your way. And that's when the journey began. And I realized that I was onto something because I was sharing it with a lot of people, and people were very, the response was great. Hey, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I shared it with my community of photographers who I knew.
Okay. And you know that the photography industry, although you as a photographer know many photographers, it's still a niche type of industry. So obviously, and I know from speaking to you that you've kind of expanded out of the photography industry into other industries. Explain that to us, Chris.
So what I did was I started going out to photography clubs. Once I realized I may have something, I went out and I knew there was nothing on the market, went to all the trade shows, knew there was nothing. I found someone who started giving me some information and said, hey, you know what? You might be able to patent that. And so after some time of looking for a patent attorney, which it's not easy, the road for an inventor beginning is not easy if you don't know anyone. And it took me a little while. I eventually found a really good attorney, and we filed a provisional patent. And once I had some protection, I started going out to all the major photography clubs and associations that I knew in the New York City area. And right off the bat, the first club I went to, I had people coming to me and saying, wait a minute, that's great for photography, for photographers, but I'm a carpenter. I'm an electrician. I do roofing. I do siding. I work for Verizon. And I had to take a step back, and that's when I realized, wow, I might have something here for mass industries. And that's when I was still very focused on the photography industry, but that's when it appeared to me that, wow, this could be for other industries.
Okay. Well, that's the whole idea of just keeping that window of opportunity open and expanding it. This way there's more people that could possibly use your product. That's the whole idea. So, Chris, you've really gone through, after exploring and kind of getting some intellectual property, and I know that the design work of your invention took some time to develop, and it's really unique. Can you share the website with us so while people are listening, they can log on to to your website?
Sure. So right now you can go to our website, which is trackbelt360.com, TRAKBELT 360.com. And what that's going to do is that's going to bring you to our website, and then 5 to 6 seconds, it's going to redirect you to our Kickstarter campaign, which we launched back on October 21st.
Okay. So just to kind of back up before the Kickstarter, and I don't want to get too deep into it because I want to focus on your success at this point of your Kickstarter campaign. I know that you've gone through possibly manufacturing at first, and you realize that as you're engineering, this might be a little bit over your head, and then finding potential licensees, and then ending up actually landing one and realizing that they may not necessarily have been for you and backing out of it, right? So we're pretty much right on track with the way that kind of fell into place?
100%. So my initial goal was to manufacture the product, and I thought I could. I done a lot of research, and there was no indication that manufacturing was going to be easy. But what I was trying to do initially was to find a manufacturing partner, someone who would come on as a partner, help me manufacture the product, and kind of teach me and guide me through the process. After, I'd say, a solid 2 years of trying to find that partner, the more due diligence I was doing, I was really starting to realize that manufacturing is a whole nother animal. And trying to manufacture off of my first invention, and it's really my first time ever working on any kind of product like this, it probably was going to be better for me to go the licensing route, kind of find the licensee to take my product on and kind of maybe teach me about manufacturing, but I kind of felt like that would be the best road for me to go. And so I changed my direction from manufacturing to licensing. And after about the same time, about a year and a half, going out to trade shows, I went out to the National Hardware Show, and I met a company. They were a young company, but they had over 10 years experience in manufacturing for the hardware industry, and they loved the product from the start. And we left the show. We stayed in contact after the show, and within 3 months of me first meeting them, we were having a meeting. They were from Philadelphia. They flew into New York, and they were interested. They loved the product, and they told me that they would get back to me within a few months. And they had run into a problem. They had run into a problem with their manufacturing of one of their products. And so we were supposed to start working together, let's just say in November of 2012. Before I knew it, it was April of 2013, and they told me that they weren't sure when they could get to my product. And that's when I just realized that I needed to get back into either finding a licensee or figuring out what I was going to do. I mean, the road had been almost 10 years, Brian.
Okay. All right. That's it. You have to keep moving forward, and that's what you've done. So now you basically put together a Kickstarter campaign, and you put out there the way your product works and a little bit about how it got to where it is today. And tell us about this Kickstarter campaign. Tell us how much you're raising or how much you're looking to raise, and you're pretty much right there as of this interview. And the different donations, I guess they call them on Kickstarter, what you get for each one, and then tell us how we're going to be able to donate and help support you to get to the next level, and what you're going to do afterwards once you receive the money.
Absolutely. So our goal was $35,000, and the $35,000 is going to help us finish the little engineering work that we need. It's going to help us get to the tooling, and it's going to help us for our first production run. Right now we're at $34,316, so we're about $575 shy of our goal, which is awesome. We have 22 days to go, and the rewards we have are, for example, one of the rewards you have here is you have $10. So for $10, you're not going to get the product, but you're going to get our team to go up to the top of the Empire State Building and shout out your name. And we got a few people calling us up, emailing me and saying, "Hey, I want to be there. I want to call out my name with you guys." So it's kind of cool. For $25, you'll get a thank you. You'll get a T-shirt, and we'll put you up on our website. And then to get the product, there's pledges at $60, which is a limited amount. And then it's going to go up to $80, and what you'll get is a full, complete set of the belts, which is one belt with 2 connection systems. So if you have pouches, you're a photographer, you're a trade professional, you already have your own pouches. So we created a system that will attach to any industry pouch. And then we have a few other packages. For $140, you get 2 belts with a $60 savings. You have the site foreman package of $350. You get 5 belts with a savings of about $150. And then we have a retail package based off of a few retailers that said, "Hey, you know what? It's a little untraditional for us to put an order in before the product is manufactured, but we kind of really like this product and we want to be in with you guys." So it's been kind of cool. We got a few of those purchased.
Okay. And once you end up reaching the goal, so right now, well, your goal is $35,000, and where are you right now?
Goal is $35,000. We are at $34,000. And we're certainly going to hit that goal in the next 24 to 48 hours, it looks like, and keep on going. Because as you know, there's always other expenses that arise that could be increased pricing in manufacturing. So, anyone who's familiar with Kickstarter knows that you hit that goal and you just keep going, shoot for the stars,
Okay, sounds good. So once you get the money, Chris, what's your next steps?
Next step is we're finalizing our production sample right now. We should have our finished prototype in about 2 weeks. Part of the Kickstarter funds are going to go towards paying off the engineer. Then in December, January, we will pay the rest of the funds to go towards tooling and to get our first production run.
Okay. Well, and then where are we going to buy your product, Chris?
You would be able to buy them offline at our website, TrackBelt360. But we are currently talking to reps from Lowe's and Home Depot. We are talking reps from a lot of mom-and-pop hardware stores. If you're in the photography industry, we have one of the largest photography retailers in the world, B&H Photography. We've already started the vendor purchasing agreement, so we're going to be in quite a few stores.
Okay. Well, the best we could do at this point, Chris, is wish you all the best, lots of luck, and great success with your TrackBelt 360. I've watched you grow with this product and really looking to see the success come out of it, and you deserve it, Chris. You've been working real hard. Hopefully people will be looking and buying your product the same for the same reason that you envision